Hello guys and welcome to the ProDota Cup series by Smashcast TV. We are here in the grand final, boys! It's about to end, but it's ending with a blast, boy! We have a best of 5 in front of us. Actually, I lied. We have a best of 3 in front of us because MVP Revolution actually lose the first game against Geek Fam. Even though they do come with a winner's brackets, advantage, and that's a 1-game advantage, they actually lose the first game against Geek Fam, making it an equal grounds now. Geek Fam and MVP Revolution both stand as equals, looking at each other right in the eyes, saying, I'm gonna win this best of 3, bitch. I'm gonna win it. Geek Fam is gonna win in 3-0. You know it, we all know it. MVP Revolution might actually just go down because of this, like, loss of morale. Then again, this happens in the EU finals, and I got so hyped about it, and Geek Fam, or the other team, ended up losing the last 2 games. But that's beyond the point. Let's see what's gonna happen in this next game. Both Geek Fam and MVP Revolution are pumped. I'm pumped. We're all pumped. We're all excited to see what happens. And without further ado, let's get right into the draft. But allow me to present myself first. My name is DSwordfish. I will be your caster for today. Let's see what the draft has. Trim Protector, Legion Commander, Lifestealer, and Terrorblade all banned out. Picking up a Slaughter and a Juggernaut. And the Evolution, they ban out the Nyx Assassin, the Batrider, the Axe, and the Omnite, and they pick up a Riki and a Darkseer, and Disruptor. So MVP Evolution, one of their best combos that they always ran was Napaloshka Darkseer together with an Earth Spirit on Blizzy. But Disruptor is not too bad, and neither is Riki. They actually offer similar things. In fact, you have the only 2 area silences in the game. And I don't mean area silence as in Death Prophet's area silence, which is also an AoE silence, true. But I mean a silence that actually silences an area for a while. There's no other such spell in the game. It's only Smokescreen and, of course, the Static Storm. By being able to do those things with also low cast point the Static Storm has, and a bit bigger, but not too high cast point that Smokescreen has, you have an insanely long silence to combine with Vacuum and a slow, and of course Kinetic Field to slow them down then. And if you max Smokescreen, that's almost as big as Kinetic Field, meaning that the AoE of the silence is going to be ridiculous, and nobody's going to be able to get away from that. So the combo that MVP Revolution is running is really good, especially against a Juggernaut that relies on the Manta style in the early game to dispel silence and whatnot. However, Disruptor is not the best hero against Juggernaut. We all know this. His Blade Fury is still very annoying when you're trying to use Glimpse on him. But of course, that's something that MVP Revolution have to deal with. They already have a pretty good lineup for now. Troll Warlord to add a bit of snowballing element. They're probably going to win the lanes is the idea that MVP Revolution has. So you go with a bit of a snowballing element to take towers, especially in the mid game. It strengthens your mid game and your team fight as a whole. And the best part about Troll Warlord is that once you actually get a team fight done and you beat a bunch of people, you can capitalize on that team fight much easier because you have a huge amount of pushing power. Now, Geek Fam, what do they have? They're going for a different strategy. They're going for a minus armor strategy, clearly. It's not even really strong lanes or getting ganks. It's a minus armor strategy. With Bristleback and Juggernaut to carry the game in the early... Juggernaut to carry the game in very early, Bristleback in the mid game, and then Juggernaut comes back in the later game. They have a bit of pushing power. The Juggernaut and the Shadow Shaman, which is powerful. Slaughter to get ganks in the early game, combining with Bristleback, maybe a dual off lane to make sure that they can win. It's not as good as a Warlock Bristleback, for example, but it is good for getting kills, especially with the Slithering Crush and the kills and whatnot. And if you get 1 level of Nasal Goo, then ooh, easy. And Geek Fam, their objective is not really take towers as much as MVP Revolution is. They're really kind of going for the whole Roshan taken here. Thank you for the video, sir. No problem. And with this, the Owl Devour's last pick is the last pick for Geek Fam. Sorry about this. I didn't mean to answer that, but anyway, Geek Fam is going to be picking Owl Devour last, and we'll talk about this in a second. First, let's predict what MVP Revolution could run first. That's the last mid hero. Anyway, for the people that are asking, or people that said in the chat, was it A Jumps Juso? Hey man, if you do want to watch the video in better quality because Smashcast doesn't work, feel free to go to my Twitter and there's my YouTube channel and I upload all the replays afterwards if you do want to watch the game in full 720 HD or 180p HD 60 FPS. Right. Currently you should be able to watch it at 720 with 48 FPS, which is as much as they'll allow me. Let's see. Geek Fam, last pick out World Devour. What do MVP Revolution go for in the mid lane against an OD together with Stormcat? You could go for the Invoker. Honestly, Invoker's not that bad. Invoker's actually pretty good against what Geek Fam is running because you have a way to set up with the Riki, the Disruptor as well, easy Sunstrikes. The Outworld Devour sets up Sunstrikes for you. It's actually quite a good counter of Outworld Devour in the lane because it has Strong Imprisonment is a really low range. Alternatively, you can go for the Lina. Lina is also a good option. Lina against MVP Revolution is able to, again, use the Astral Imprisonment as a setup, can cancel Shadow Shaman easily, has a long range. Long range is really the qualities he wants against an OD. The TA is an option as well for MVP Revolution. They do have a lot of pushing power and TA adds to it, so it could be just the TA and go simple. However, if they do want to dominate this lane, Lina, for example, is something that Stormcat likes playing, and Lina would be quite good against what they have. And not so weak against Shadow Shaman or later stages Juggernaut, which TA is. The Invoker is my preferred pick because of the extra pushing power you get with Alacrity. I really do love the Alacrity plus Troll Warlord. But like I said, a lot of things could happen. Yeah, like I said, Lina. Yeah. So it's those are the options. So right now, MVP Revolution versus Geek Fam. This last pick of Lina, I like it. I very much like it. I like what they went for here. They want to eliminate the lanes because they know that if they don't let Geek Fam get much farm in the early game, they don't have many recovery mechanisms. If OD can't get his Midas early on, he can't really recover through stacks. Bristleback and Juggernaut both farm decently, but don't outfarm a Troll Warlord in general, especially because the Troll Warlord can go for kills. Troll is great against Juggernaut as well, so he's not too worried about it. And Bristleback shouldn't be able to get much... shouldn't be... having much trouble against the... Sorry, Bristleback shouldn't be able to get much out of his lane in general. That's what they're going for in the beginning as well. It's important to note that Bristleback is going to be harassed considerably because we all know how strong this hero is just with Solar Crest, so you don't want them... You don't want to let them, you know, be able to have a hero in the offlane that's also powerful. That's a ridiculous amount of levels, Bello. That's ridiculous, man. But you did get the Aegis, so I guess it's fair. Well, anyway, like I said, I don't know how much you want to harass the Bristleback, how much pressure you can put onto him. Usually a lane, Troll Warlord, with the Berserker's Rage that gives you extra armor, by the way. 8 armor early on is ridiculous. So, a Troll Warlord plus Disruptor plus Ricky lane should be able to kill off the Berserker easily. In fact, I would even run a dual lane down bottom with Pubber and with WZI just to punish the Berserker a bit. If they do run a dual lane themselves, you run a tri-lane. And if they don't run a dual lane, you run 2 dual lanes and use Blizzy to get an early kill with Napaleoshka. Or maybe let Blizzy get an early kill with Napaleoshka and then rotate in bottom or mid, one of the two. Honestly, they have a lot of options. MVP Revolution, similarly to how OG plays, this is what I was saying earlier, they do have a versatile style with the same heroes, right? A lot of same heroes with maybe 1 or 2 variations. In this case, the variations from the last match where... Oh, okay, what is up with Dota? Okay, sorry about this. Alright, I can control. The variations with the last match were, in this case, the Ricky and the Disruptor, mainly the supports, with the Troll Warlord changing, but the same idea as the Sven, maybe a bit more into towards carrying or towards early game snowball, but still the Paleoshka pick, still the same idea of a draft, dominating lanes, and then, you know, win from then on. If MVP Revolution play well, then they should be able to beat Geek Fam, but of course it all depends on execution again, and that's going to be an important factor here. And they're not as consistent as OG in terms of execution. That's a good point to say. MVP Revolution is a good team, but let's not go there. Like, OG is one of the most consistent teams out there, and that's why they're versatile, but same lineups work. Like, not even Virtus Pro can beat them, even though they knew exactly how to beat them in terms of drafting, because they're just that good. They really have a good execution. Whereas MVP Revolution has the same versatile style, the same kind of consistent style, but not as consistent, not getting to that tier 1 consistency, still in the tier 2 consistency. That said, I don't know why I've been talking about that for so long. It's just so you guys really know MVP Revolution. I've been following this team for a while, ever since they were no-lifers, so quite a lot of love for them. Of course, no bias. I really don't care who wins. So, let's present the teams real quick, without further ado. My name is DSwordfish. I'll be your caster for today. Let's see what the teams are running today. We have WZI on the Disruptor in the support position in the raid side for MVP Revolution. Stormcat will be the Lina in the mid lane. As the carry, we have a Troll Warlord played by Pubber. Ricky, here played by Blizzy in the second support position. And finally in the off lane, Napaleoshka will be running a Darkseer today. And whereas for Geek Fam, we have Teehee playing the Owl Devourer in the mid lane. Velo is the Bristleback as the off laner, sorry. Psionics will be running a Juggernaut in the carry position. And the 2 supports will be on the Shadow Shaman, which is the new integrant apparently of Geek Fam. And then finally Raw G as the Slaughter support. Probably one of my favorite players, if I'm honest, of the SCA region. I do believe Raw G is one of the players with the most potential out there. Been following him for a couple of years, and he's just a really consistent support, honestly. It's usually a stand-up performance by him whenever he plays, which is a beauty to see. So it's nice to watch him in a good team like Geek Fam. Geek Fam is probably one of the top-tier teams together with MVP Revolution. They know exactly what to do. They have more versatile drafts. They're much more of a team like... as a team, they remind me much more of someone like MVP... Ironically, they're much more similar or akin to MVP Phoenix. They have their own strategies, and they run them really well, but... You know, they're a bit crazier, not really the meta strategies. And that's similar to MVP Phoenix. Maybe even Wings. I think not as creative as Wings, though. Okay, Velo, careful. There's no Bristleback, so this is an easy kill for them. Oh, Fairy Fire might save his life. Velo, careful. One last hit, but WZI, no, not enough. There's the axe from Pubber, and they actually ensure the first blood for Pubber. So that's going to be a huge advantage for MVP Revolution. First blood for your carry, allowing you to get some easy kills. Easy kills. But then Stormcat might die in this mid lane as well. Slithering Crush, help from the OD, and the Shackles will ensure that Lina has nothing to do here. They even use an Astral Imprisonment. Blizzy had no way of stopping those Shackles. You know, they didn't have a smoke screen, so he didn't even bother. He just let Lina die. It's better than nothing, honestly. Better than you die, certainly. And losing the mid laner for a support usually would be bad, but of course, MVP Revolution still get the first blood, and it's the first blood on the carry, whereas that kill went to... Oh, that kill did not go to Tihi. I suppose it's even-ish. Obviously, the mid lane is going to be favorable to the Lina regardless of this skill, unless the OD plays really well. And all that MVP Revolution need to do right now is maybe rotate the Ricky a bit, ensure these rotations that are happening constantly from Geek Fam don't get out of control, and start really... Because the issue that MVP Revolution has is that their team is a tempo controlling team in this matchup. They do. They have a Troll Warlord, Lina. They come online per se, which is a phrase I don't really love, but it serves really well here, which is they come online much before the enemy team does. Oh shit, Stormcat, you're gonna die. You're gonna die. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Run! Run for your life! The Fire Soul! Oh, no need for the Fire Soul. Slithering Crush actually caught him anyway, but it wasn't. The Astral Imprisonment level 1 or level 2 is not good enough to actually continue that fight. Anyway, the point is they are the tempo controllers. They do have the higher timings. They all get online at the same time, around level 6-ish. So minute 15, minute 20 is when they all get online, and they're all very powerful if they have necessary items. Whereas Geek Fam is more of a versatile team with a bit of late game on the OD and on the Juggernaut, and you know, not as much mid game because of that, etc, etc. So if you manage to stop their... Oh, careful in the mid lane, Tihi. I mean, they have the Iron Shaw also on Blizzy, which is hurting a lot, and Tihi's actually going to go down. So the idea here was to stop Stormcat from snowballing and everyone else from snowballing. So this wouldn't happen, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They're going to stop Apolloshka, though. That's a bit of team fight. Slithering Crush to stop the surge, and Apolloshka will go down to the damage. Yeah, it's putting down 77 damage as a Shadow Shaman level 2. And that's with boots only. So that's pretty ridiculous, honestly. Oh no, the OD is actually TPing into his death. They have a glimpse, so they could just cancel it with the glimpse, but they don't choose to. I think they're still trying to. No glimpse, just a Thunder Strike. Zayak might just go down here. Okay, that was a terrible initiation from Zayak. In fact, all of them are coming here to make sure that they can kill him. The glimpse not going to be too successful because they're using the OD for some strange reason instead of on the Slaughter and the Shadow Shaman. And now Stormcat in trouble. There's no Hex, but they do have a Slithering Crush. And a Shackle soon. Stormcat is going to be covered with Slithering Crush. There it is, the Shackles. Not enough mana. They need Astral Imprisonment. There's the Hex. He just grabbed the second level of Hex to get the kill, but Blizzy comes in with a smoke screen to save his friend. And should be able to do so. They have a regen rune down bottom, but nobody knows this for now. I don't think anyone has vision. Maybe Geek Fam. Yeah, it seems like Geek Fam saw it. Blizzy, run to the goddamn regen rune. Run. Because if Tihi grabs this, it's a bottle of regen rune. Very useful for him. Oh, Blizzy just saw this. It's just sadness. Sadness. Watching the Lina know. Or knowing the Lina is actually quite weak and low on health. She could have really used that regen rune instead of trying to bottle Kuro. But of course, fighting against an OD 1v1 as a Lina without any mana sounds like a terrible idea. It is a terrible idea, so good thing they didn't commit to that, right? Consistency is key. MVP Revolution. Don't commit suicide against Geek Fam. No. Bottom lane, I see Velo playing super aggressively. Can they punish him with a glimpse? That's only level 1 glimpse is the worst range in the world. Probably needs some sort of slow. And there's only level 2 disruptor. And he's level 3. Maybe the glimpse finally. Okay, brings him back. Now they can hit him from the front. Velo has to turn away. Sassy. Turn you back to them. But oh, Blizzy finishes him off with a blink strike. And now Raji fighting alone against 2. But Blizzy is a fairy fire. Good using the Slithering Crush. Will ensure that they probably doesn't die here. Raji, Blizzy, walking over to him. They do have vision of the Ricky. Oh, yeah, exactly. They know where he is because the dust was still on him. There's a sentry dropped by Raji. He thinks he can kill Blizzy, and that's the last kit they needed to kill up Blizzy. That was just auto attacking. He was not expecting that sentry. I think he forgot completely they used the dust earlier because I forgot. And MVP Revolution. Well, they lose the Ricky there in an engagement that wasn't too favorable for them. In the first kill, it was pretty good. And they could have killed the Slaughter, of course. They lost the Disruptor for the Bristleback, which is fine. But then losing the Ricky, not so good. That you need him roaming, especially mid. You need some help in the mid lane. I cannot believe that the OD is actually beating the Lina right now. Well, I can't believe it. We'll talk about why in a second. Oh, what a terrible Shackles. They still have Hex, so yeah, waiting for the Surge to run off, and one last auto attack by Silent is enough to finish him off. They didn't even use Blade Fury because they didn't need the damage. They had the Armor Slash in general if he did run away, and that's why Darkseer does so badly against the Juggernaut. Actually, there's a lot of reasons, but we haven't really explained it because we didn't get to really explain the lanes. Okay, that's not enough damage. Stormcat, please run the fuck away. He took away your mana, so you couldn't really use Laguna's Blade. Even with 4 intelligence, it seems stupid, but she is so limited on mana in the early game, Stormcat, until she gets Arcane Boots, that the combo of Dragon Slave, Light Strike Array, Laguna's Blade is just barely fitting into your mana pool. It's, what, 410 plus... 510 damage, or mana, meaning that you have 70 spare mana. With a bit of intelligence stolen, and of course, you know, a bit of mana missing from her previous harassments, you can't do that combo. Anyway, we really haven't explained the whole Psionics thing, but why is Juggernaut so good against Darkseer in general? Because Surge forced him to be out of lane without blinking, meaning that he's going to be a time when he's actually going to be out of the lane of creeps. If you can, you know, get him with Surge, you can just wait and Omni Slash him once he's out of the lane of creeps, and if he, you know, continues to run away while the Omni Slash is on him, say you Omni Slash him while there's creeps around, he has to stay around the creeps for the Omni Slash, then try to get the Surge away, which is almost impossible, because it's only level 2 Surge, and that's 4.5 seconds. Omni Slash lasts quite a while, or, well, relative while. Okay, Velo in the bottom lane, should die though. Okay, never mind. Actually, that Magic Stick is helping him a lot, and Pummer cannot take any more Cool Spray. One more Cool Spray should kill him. Velo can't get it off. Just one, like, maybe 1 meter off or so. I don't actually know what the units are in Dota, but 1 unit off of some sort, and Pummer would have died. Pummer would have certainly died against that Cool Spray. He had 6 stacks of it on him. I mean, it's only Cool Spray level. Oh, it actually maxed in level now. And Velo also can take a lot of stacks. This is the danger of having a Bristle back. If he just gets that level 4 Cool Spray, then you have some stacks from, especially Ancient stacks, you can easily recover. And you only have, you know, 1 stack, but it's a start. It's 8 minutes in. It's not that bad. It's a good start for them. Now, the issue here that MVP... Oh, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing, yeah? Oh, no. Oh, I don't think this is a good idea, but the TP could come any second. They have a crit Ricky as well. The Iron Shield is not hitting them. There's the kinetic field, and this is going to be... Yep, this is going to be the counter kill. Geek Fam going to lose, yeah, first, I believe, against Iron Shield damage. Yep, that's... Oh, Blizzy just finishes him off with a backstrike. Good, nice night. Backstrike is what you called it. No, that's what I'm going to call him when he uses that spill. Oh, good kinetic field, but not good enough to actually stop the TP. Raji, very well played here, knowing that they didn't have any way to cancel the TP except for the glimpse. And of course, he lost vision of them once he left the kinetic field, because they do have vision of the kinetic field, but not outside of it. So that works really nicely for... Yeah, actually does work really nicely for MVP Revolution. They stop a gank, they don't lose much there. I mean, honestly, the Slaughter surviving is good, and in fact, it's one of the better things for Geek Fam, because they only lost one of the supports in position 5, so no big deal. But, oh, Healing Ward destroyed first, Ricky. I don't think he killed Psionics, but definitely got a lot of gold with the Healing Ward. Now the Poison Orb plus the Iron Shell might finish off Psionics. He just used his Blade Fury to... Oh, no, he didn't have any mana because he just used his Healing Ward. That's why, right. Wow, that was pretty brutal. I mean, the support killing your carry, that's much better, and there's good utilization of the Ricky. Geek Fam is still winning in terms of farm, because their net worth is just skyrocketing because of the kills, and more importantly, the farm they're getting in the lane. I mean, the Lean has been able to farm well, but the Troll Warlord is not equaling this Juggernaut's farm at all. Like I said, you have to wait till the mid-game to really be effective with the Troll. Kept a couple items. For now, he has none. He's trying to go for Blats first. Oh, they find Raji. This is easy kill. Is it going to be fish and chips for everybody? Lagoon's Blade! Fish and chips for everybody, like I said. As they just finish him off with... I mean, it wasn't really a fire attack. I was hoping for it to be a fire attack, but hey, whatever, Lean. You know, you ruined my cast. It's okay. Right, but the point here is MVP Revolution and Geek Fam seem tied, but they really aren't, because, again, Geek Fam should not be winning this early game stage by that much. Ricky should have had a bit more impact, but of course he hasn't been able to. They're really good uses of the Iron Shell, though, I gotta admit, and also the Troll Warlord as well. Okay, he just lost his Iron... He still has the Iron Shell, gonna renew it. Blink Strike not available yet, he has Phase Boots, and that Healing Ward is gonna really annoy them. They see the Healing Ward and said, screw it. We're not gonna go for that kitty. It's definitely too dangerous, and the Healing Ward is gonna cure him up completely. I do believe it's a Healing Ward build. Yep, maxing Healing Ward right after the Blade Dance. Sorry, right after the Blade Fury. These Blade Dance is a useful crit, but honestly getting 1 level of it is already good enough, 20%. It's not like the damage increases by too much. It's only the chance, which is 5%. It's not that big a deal. Healing Ward does increase a lot of healing. Okay, goodbye to Shadow Shaman. They catch him out with Light Strike Array. They're starting to really predict where the enemy team is hiding. They don't have vision of these things. They're using the Ricky to somehow... So what they're doing is a process of elimination here, where the Ricky kind of scouts at everything and says, screw it, we know someone's here, we don't know where they are. If it's not over there, we'll just waste the Light Strike Array. If it's not a successful Light Strike Array, I have Soul Ring and Mana Boots, it's fine. And if it is a successful Light Strike Array, then win. Oh, great glimpse. Great glimpse. This ensures them the tower, and they know Psionics is around here. Kinetic Field, can they stop this TP? No, they cannot stop this TP. They're going to find him Blade Furying away. Good use to the Blade Fury during the TP. And with that, MVP Revolution will be taking a tier 1 top. But in exchange, Geek Fam want to make this even and try to take tier 1 in the mid lane, or at least some kills, because they're going behind, trying to attack Blizzy. They do have an amplified damage and a Dust. I do believe, yeah, Dust on Psionics, so they could kill him off if they needed to. Bristle back comes from behind as well, wanting to attack Blizzy, not knowing if to use a smoke screen or not. Taking a lot of damage just from the Quill Spray. The Iron Shell is not really being very useful here. Because it's just the only damage to Ricky himself. Please don't go in with that Quill Spray, it stacks on you. And with this, another tower is taken by Geek Fam, like I said, to even the score. Both teams pretty equal. It's really going to be the mid-game win. everything is decided. I'm kind of excited to see the mid game. I have a Troll Warlord fighting up against Juggernaut. Let's go to net worth now. You have an OD that got an early Midas, and he's going to be fine. So he didn't get, you know, bullied out of the lane like they were expecting. This Lina pick didn't work as well as they expected. Of course, it's not a dead pick by any means. Many people, for some reason, think that Lina is just, you know, still not a late game or not a mid game carry, even though she very certainly is. But she is expected to win their lane to some degree, even with the help of your support. It doesn't really matter. She's expected to win the lane to some degree. And instead of doing that, she actually lost it against the OD. I mean, a bit more Lancet, but he recovered a bit in the jungle. He got the Midas early, and he got more kills than her. So her net worth, I mean, no, not more kills in lane. Yeah, they equal. Sorry, it was more kills in lane for the OD, but more because they got the kill on the support, but not. But more kills overall for the lead. However, Stormcat was expected to destroy the OD. OD still farmed pretty well. Not really a big deal then for Geek Fam. They're pretty confident now coming into the mid game because they have a pretty well farmed OD with Midas, which is all he needs, and a Juggernaut that once he gets at level 12, he's able to use the Omni Slash much more effectively. And look at MVP Revolution. Do they have a tank? I hate saying that, but do they have someone that's tanky enough to withstand the Omni Slash? Really, they don't. The only thing that can really stop an Omni Slash, and that should definitely be a consideration for the Lina, especially after your Bloodstone, is that Yule Scepter. That Yule Scepter is one of the better ways to stop the Omni Slash, because Ghost Scepter won't work because he just can go for the Fusel Blade and destroy you. Yule Scepter prevents some of the damage for 2.5 seconds. Sure, you can't use spells and whatnot, but it's still a great item on Lina, and getting it against a Juggernaut is fantastic because it helps you out ridiculously. Able to stop that Omni Slash, able to stop some of the Blade Fury damage if they catch you in a bad position. I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful item. In addition to the mana regen it gives you and all that, which is great, allowing you to also get a great setup for the Juggernaut. Because let's not forget the Juggernaut, he can evade the Lightstrike Array easily, Blade Fury, but if you get the setup just right, you know, so when he goes down, you hit him with Lightstrike Array, the second he goes down, you should be able to actually stun him out.
But ultimately, wasn't the key here.
So, just watching, seeing him when no Masters finish, it is, so, come to the channel, woo! Aegis taken by Geek Fam, and that is an Aegis for Velo. Pretty happy with the situation. Solar Crest onto his name, as well, thanks to this Aegis. Careful, because Tiki has a pretty good strong position initiation, but of course, Napoleshka knows this and he's gonna run away in time. Thank Christ. That could have been really awkward. They just didn't find him, and they found him there. It's like, oh, well, I'm dead. Like, he can't even surge away from that. Well, Velo will die in the bottom lane. Great stun, and they hit him from the front, sorry. Velo now taking a lot of damage from the back. They're gonna take away his Roshan or his Aegis, and now Glimpse to bring away. Oh, Smokescreen, very smart. Silence starts spinning as he TP's in. And that's clever. Pubber losing a lot of damage or losing a lot of HP to the side of the Glimpse. The Omni Slash is so close. Another phase with Pubber. Run for your life, goddammit! The Glimpse brings back Psionics, and so they're gonna save Pubber. Pubber will survive, and the only thing dead here will be Blizzy. No, maybe a Smokescreen to help him out. W Zyke, yeah, he's gonna be chased down by, yeah, that's an easy kill. Shadow Shaman just running in. Trick to the Trade still available, but you don't really want to show yourself. W Zyke will go down. That Soul Crest, or sorry, Medallion of Courage itself is already really useful with its Shadow Shaman because it deals a lot of physical damage. But of course, that's only on supports. The good thing that Pubber survived there is pretty important. W Zyke sacrificed himself for Pubber, and that's definitely a win for them. It's very beneficial for MVP Revolution because of course you don't want to lose this hero who's going for a Shadow Blade. I can only imagine. That is an interesting pickup against a Slaughter. Of course, the Shadow Blade is used for initiation in pro games. Oh, let's Lightstrike Array, Smokescreen, he can't use Sprint, he's dead. But the Shadow Blade is usually used for initiation on pro games, sure, yeah. But the Troll World in the early game, or when you first grab Shadow Blade, you're kind of relying on the enemy team not having too much detection because it's the early game and they don't have much of a win. And of course, besides having the initiation, you also have the kind of escape mechanism that it sometimes gives you, right? But against a Slaughter, that's not really ever the case, because if he doesn't have Dust, he definitely has Amplified Damage. So it's not as useful this game, and it's not really an item built on Troll too often. There's definitely a poor man's Troll that he's going for. He's not the items he would love to go for. Because I don't much see either the ganking potential here. The enemy team, yeah, sure, the Bristleback is maybe the best gank. Oh, shit, that's why. The Silver Edge is fantastic against the enemy team, I just realized. It takes away the Bristlebacks, obviously. The Blade Dance as well from the Juggernaut, taking away half the OD's damage is insane. That's why he's going for Silver Edge this game. He was planning it from the beginning. It has nothing to do with how the game is going, which is clever for MVP Revolution. Okay, Glimpse is available, but are you going to force him to spin? Yeah. Force him to spin early. Usually you don't use the Glimpse that early. That's a terrible positioning by W Zyke, by the way. This is, I mean, he deserves to die for this. Yeah, Force Staff, there, there's Omni Slash. No, they're not going to even commit to the Omni Slash. Wow. Okay, he's losing a lot of time. Meanwhile, I think the Bristleback has found Ricky. Using tricks of the trade, might even kill Ye by accident. The Disruptor already goes down, and Blizzy goes down to Velo himself, with the Kill Spray dealing a ridiculous amount of damage to him once he decides to go on Ye, right after using tricks of the trade. But, hey, Blizzy died, so did WZyke, 2 supports dead for Geek Fam. They're pretty happy with that engagement. That was just a terrible position by WZyke. There was no need for him to come out of the trees. He could have just left through here, but instead decided to leave through here, which first of all is a longer route, because your objective, your end of goal is here. And that's a longer route. This is pure math. And second of all, well, why would you do that? Why would you show yourself in front of the enemy team? I don't understand. Hey, maybe to get some distraction for his carries to leave. Yeah, it's valid. It wasn't necessarily a mistake, but, well, it's definitely a questionable play. However, like I said, it's just to support. Now the issue, though, is that though Pubber has done a pretty good job of pushing, and this is what we were talking about earlier, capitalizing on these kills. Even if they don't have kills, they can still capitalize on the space they're getting. The Troll Warlord doesn't really want to fight here alone. Oh, no, the Shackles catch him. There's a Hex as well. That's enough time for everyone to TP in, but the Shadow Blade might save him. The Dust catches Pubber in time. Now the Amplified damage, Slithering Crush. He can't go anywhere. They don't even want to commit the Omni Slash. The Shackles is ready again, and yeah, we'll ensure this kill on Pubber is swift and easy, with one last Death Shock to finish him off. Meanwhile, in the top lane, they're actually fighting as well. Tihi could be going down thanks to MVP Revolution's decision to just stay and attack the 2 cores. Velo himself is cool spraying everyone, but Nepaloshka is not dying just yet. The Iron Shell might finish him off. Velo surviving to go so goddamn long. One more cool spray, but Nepaloshka will meet him in face to face and crush his eyes with his bare hands. With that, Geek Fam will be losing 2 cores for the price of 2 as well. A Troll Warlord that dies in the bottom lane, and a Ricky that dies over here. Ricky, not that big a deal. Ricky's just a support, sorry, but in exchange, a carry in exchange for 2 cores, The Lina, sorry, does have Bloodstone, which makes this worthwhile for MVP Revolution, and you are losing, so it is worthwhile for them, but it's still not game-changing by any means. Those 2 kills don't actually matter that much. The OD has a Midas, so he can recover easily. The Juggernaut is probably the ideal kill right now, because he doesn't have any sort of farming mechanism. The Bristleback, similarly, you want to kill him, I suppose, because he's just annoying and you hate him, but it's not really much more than hatred. You can't really stop a Bristleback's, you know, gain or net worth increase, I suppose, because, well, you can actually physically stop it, but it's not the best thing, because what, you're going to prevent the Solar Crest from coming out of Bristleback? Oh, God, he's going to get it anyway. It's a really cheap item. So is Vanguard, so is Hooded Defiance. His general build-up, his general core is so cheap, that's why he's used in the offlane so much, because he is such a cheap hero to build up. And if you do kill him, since everything that he buys is just such small parts, if he's smart enough, he's going to be able to buy all the components before you can actually finish him off. So the best thing to do here is stop Juggernaut, stop his Manta Style, which is a very expensive item. It's Manta Style requires that Ultimate Orb, and more importantly, Juggernaut can't just get kills like by accident, which Bristleback literally does. Get kills by accident. He doesn't mean to get most of his kills, he just gets them. And that's the issue here. The Juggernaut has to actively farm, so most of his gold is unreliable, whereas the Bristleback does not. He actually farms heroes more than anything, and sometimes ancient stacks. And once he finds an ancient stack, he just buys the item immediately, as he just did with the Hood of Defiance, Casual Hood. And as a result, killing Bristleback is really not that relevant. It's more the OD. I don't know why I went on such a huge rant on it, but it's important to understand these little things and what's important, what's not. You know, what's a good kill, what's not. Silver Edge is very important on Pubber so they can stop Velo though, because they just want to be able to cancel him early in the team fight. Not like this though. Not like this. Without the Silver Edge, it's really hard. Static Storm comes out, and actually they close in the Shadow Shaman, also the Bristleback, so he can't use Cool Spray, but in comes the Slaughter, stuns that Stormcat. They do have a really good usage of the Amplified damage on him. Omnislash is split between the support and the offlaner. WZyke will survive, but no, Delanoshka will not. Kinetic Field, and now the Slaughter has been turned to mincemeat as Stormcat finishes him off, but the Disruptor will die as a result. Stormcat's pretty fast into his Fiery Souls, should be able to run away. However, Blizzy won't have the same luck. They see him entirely, and Tihi will finish him off. In that engagement, Pubber was not there because he was engaging instead against the tower. Oh, well, he called the Wrath of the TPs. Run the fuck away, Pubber. Run away, my friend, because they're going to find you easily. So they know the glyph is used, so they know they don't have glyph for a while. The whole point of it is they know they only have one last tier 1, so this glyph actually started to become relevant. So you mark it in the timing, and make sure that the glyph, well, whenever the glyph is used, you mark it. And that way you know. Because for, what is it, 5 minutes you can't use the glyph? I do believe it is 5 minutes. Yeah, okay, I'm not going crazy. I don't know why there's so many changes in the patches and whatnot. You start thinking, is a glyph maybe like every 10 minutes? But then you realize that'd be ridiculous. Right. Okay, did you see? Stormcat just sees Vel's like, oh fuck no. Fuck this person. Fuck, I'm not touching him. I'm not touching him. Those Squirrel Sprays hurt. Those Squirrel Sprays hurt. I'm leaving him. I'm leaving this entirely. And I mean, she has 17 Bloodstone charges, so it really is Stormcat that's carrying the game for MVP Revolution. But the good thing about this is, I gotta admit, the Troll Warlord has surprised me with the fact that he has not been destroyed in terms of farm at all. He's died quite a considerable amount of times. Actually, no, just one. But hasn't been really relevant in the team fights either. If they don't die, they don't really lose much farm. That's a good idea. They've been taking towers too. The idea that, or how MVP Revolution is playing their lineup, which is use the troll to take objectives while the rest of your team is, you know, fighting. That kind of 4 protect 1, but not entirely 4 protect 1, because it's not like a terribly kind of pick where you really need to just let him farm. Or like Geek Fam is doing, which is just letting Juggernaut farm. Please farm is what they say as they attack everyone else. What MVP Revolution is doing is using the Troll Warlord for kind of a split pushing, almost a rat tactic. I hate using that word actually. Almost like a split pushing tactic, right? Where they engage with 4 and you let Pupper take structures alone, and that's not bad. And the idea here is to wait for the Silver Edge so it can actually be relevant in the team fight. Because the stats the Silver Edge give you are pretty useful. Think about what Troll Warlord gets at the beginning. What does Troll Warlord get when he's not going for a Silver Edge straight up? I don't know why I'm asking this rhetorical question. It's Sanjay Yasha. It's 16 strength, 16 agility, right? I do believe. Plus extra bonuses. Oh, careful. Liam's gonna die first. Static Storm. Really good Static Storm actually. You'll to grant the damage from the Omni Slash. Exactly what we're talking about. Now, like, Liam's not gonna stop Psionics from using the Blade Fury though, so Psionics is just gonna Blade Fury that to glimpse away, and Geek Fam can't get any kills. Luckily, the Lina is saved, and for now, MVP Revolution will be quite happy with this engagement because they don't lose the Lina. Great Yule Scepter. Great pickup, by the way, here by the Lina. Like I said, Bloodstone straight up into Yule Scepter, helping her out ridiculously. Right, sorry. Troll Warlord likes to go for Sanjay Yasha. The closest thing you have to Sanjay Yasha this game, since you did go for Silver Edge, is the stats the Silver Edge gives you. And it's close, honestly. It's 15% all attributes. It's not bad. It's almost a Sanjay Yasha with intelligence. Less damage and less maim and whatnot, but it's still good. And he can kill the Bristleback ridiculously easy right now. Look at that. He has been stunned out, broken, and destroyed. I mean, there was no chance of him surviving there, and they even mark it there just to... Why did they mark that? Double damage room? I actually do not know why they marked that time. Maybe we finally killed the Bristleback, guys. Let's mark it just to tell our mothers that we've actually killed this hero. I cannot believe that he's actually dead. Now, the Silver Edge completely destroys him, so that's a really good pickup. Stormcat could have gone for the Silver Edge as well, but the build on the Lina this game is not as useful because Troll Warlord uses it much more as initiation than the Lina does. Lina actually also uses escape mechanism because it gives her extra movement speed and whatnot. With the amplified damage, not as effective. Oh, Yule Scepter stops the initiation. There's a smoke screen as well. A great combination, by the way, with the Yule Scepter. Let's see, Onyx comes in. He has an Omni Slash. No! He's actually fighting without an Omni Slash, so they could kill him really easily. Pummer already grabs the Aegis, and that is not a good team fight for the guys at Geek Fam. They have to run away from this. Raji could be the next selected target of aggression, but of course, he has sprint, and he's going to just sprint away. Usain Bolt is going to be safe today. Everyone marks the Roshan timer on to their respective chats. WZI grabs a ward. I love how well a good Disruptor can deward, just because of the Kinetic Field. It's one of the better spells to deward. And since your damage is not like Crystal Maidens, it doesn't take you 6 years to actually destroy a ward, which is the big issue here with Crystal Maiden. Because Crystal Maiden has Crystal Nova, and it's great. You know, you Crystal Nova something, you have a Sentry, it's like, oh, I can see the high ground, I can see everything. But your damage is so bad, even with the talent, that, well, dewarding is a hassle, honestly. Whereas Disruptor has a nice range and a nice damage, so it's not really an issue. And Kinetic Field gives you vision over a large area. It's up there with Coddle and Night Stalker in terms of dewarding. I just really like Disruptor as a hero, let's be honest. Diffusal Blade next to Psionics, not surprising. There's a lot of mana on Lina, so that's just like asking for it at this point. And with the Bloodstone, she heals that mana, so you deal extra damage every hit. That's the best part. Let's not forget that when you build Diffusal Blade on a character, you'd rather the enemy team have a lot of mana and not using it too often because either you're taking it away or because they're healing it enough so they can actually constantly have mana. Mainly because, though taking away all the enemy team's mana is useful, you want the extra damage that the Diffusal Blade gives you with the mana burn. And you know, like Anti-Mage, where Anti-Mage does not care the enemy team doesn't have mana because you use Mana Void and finish them off. But of course, in this case, the Juggernaut really only has the damage from the Diffusal Blade and a bit from the stats that it gives you. So he does like the large mana pools, the fact that they can't lose too much mana because the Bloodstone, for example, is really useful. It's actually a really good pick on this game. And obviously, you want to stop the possible E-Blade on anyone. Anyone getting E-Blade this game is fantastic. It stops the Outworld Devourer, it stops the Juggernaut, it stops the Slar's amplified damage from being effective in general. Cool Spray should still hit you, because it is technically a spell, and those are counted, but I'm not entirely sure of the interactions with physical spells. I'm not entirely sure if amplified damage still reduces your armor for Cool Spray to hit you with. Okay, they definitely saw this, and Onyx, Omni Slash, like, oh, W, like, oh, no, that's not the way, run, Static Storm! Okay, good. Glimpse, can't use it. He's gonna be able to TP away. I don't think they can stop this by any means. Yep. Only the Troll Warlord can stop a TP, and it's mainly just attacking with the melee form, so there's really not much you can do. Oh, look at Yule Scepter. I mean, they don't stop the haste rune, but they do slow him down to stun him, so that's an easy kill on the starter. Stop the haste rune by killing the person that took it. Easiest way to stop a haste rune. And MVP Revolution, I actually won in net worth, or winning in net worth right now. Not bad, not bad. Actually, good start. Shivas for the Lina. Now go for big KB. That's going to help her considerably against the OD. Also, to some degree against the Shadow Shaman. A lot of stuns coming his way, so that's a good thing to take that away. With this MVP Revolution. Are they going to find Velu? Oh, there's a really good Hurricane Fire actually. Dealing a lot of damage to Napoleoshka and getting a good amount of steel in the early game. I mean, actually not that good amount of steel, but I was more hopeful. Oh, good Lifestrike Array. They don't Silver Edge him just yet, so he's not broken. They can't really kill him without the Silver Edge to use him. And probably just activated it a second ago, which I believe was to break someone else. So, oh, really good glimpse to stop Tiki's attack, but I think this is going to be difficult. Good smoke screen to prevent, like I said, the only stun in an area. Now he's been hexed though. Troll Warlord in trouble. He's as an Aegis still. Uses Sunny's eclipse onto him. The Ricky has to use Tricks of the Trade to survive. And now Stormcat, next target of aggression, he's going to be easily killed unless he eats that cheese. Has to eat it now, but not going to choose to do so. Instead, the Shackles will finish him off. They're sort of trying to help him out, but instead, their Santa will himself die. The Lina is back again soon. Napoleoshka, though, has been trapped in this astral imprisonment. And this is an easy kill on Napoleoshka. They reduce his armor and then his health. Blizzy, meanwhile, is managed to make it out alive thanks to the Tricks of the Trade. That cheese was not eaten in that team fight. I think that was the right choice, actually. I don't know if you could have fought that, but even if you could have, it would have been a very dangerous play. Because it was not certain that you could do it. It was not certain that you would do it. Oh, really good Yule Scepter. His spell is sprint as well, so now he can't really run away. He wants to get the kill with a Shiva. Should be able to. Dragon Slug to finish him off. Stormcat now fighting Silence alone. This comes to help from yeah. This is a terrible idea. Why are you doing this? I mean, the kill on the starter I understand, but at one point you should have realized that you can't keep fighting Silence. I guess. Yeah, TP. I mean, you could have TP'd away with the Lifestrike Array. TP away. That was a weird play. I don't know if he felt really confident that he killed the Juggernaut alone, or he believed that he was gonna die anyway. Don't know what the idea was there. That is it. I'm gonna get kills before I die. Because if they did choose to try to kill a Juggernaut before, you know, before dying, that's an alright play. That's an alright play in the sense that yeah, maybe you might think it's possible. If the Shadow Shaman's not there and everything, and you think that you're gonna die anyway because the enemy team is gonna gank you, might as well get a kill on the Juggernaut. See, I like the idea. But if you just stayed there to try to get a kill on the Slardar and in exchange you lost so many Bloodstone charges, that's not a good idea. I mean, you're down to 9, which is less than the original, and that's when you're doing badly. That's how you know. That's how you know you're doing badly. You count your Bloodstone charges, and if it's less than 10, then you're screwed. Obviously, that's a joke. Yasha is going to come out on Pummer next. He's not going to go Sanji Yasha. Probably, I'm very much hoping that's just a Manta style of some sort. And the BKB is finally up on him, and he hasn't used it a single time yet, so that BKB will hurt the OD considerably. If they can get the OD in a Static Storm, then they spare no expense. Skill. No need to use the BKB there, though. But do spare no expense and throw everything at him. Otherwise, you do need the BKBs to survive his attacks. And probably going the Juggernaut on the Bristleback is easier, especially with Silver Edge on you. Okay, it does seem like the Troll Warlord was very, very against the Bristleback from the beginning. Oh, sorry about that. Actually, MVP Revolution got a pretty good team fight there. Just the second I got the package, that's really unfortunate. As Blizzy can't find the Bristleback. I'm sorry, if I do have to open the door, I can't do much. That's what you don't have. That's why you usually have the co-caster. MVP Revolution will be taking this tower down in the bottom lane. Now taking in Rax as well. Easy for them. After getting that team fight onto the Juggernaut, onto the OD, it's not a hard team fight for them to win, obviously, and they don't have buyback either. However, MVP Revolution is still not wanted. Good Yule Scepter. Do they want to continue fighting this? Probably not. Yeah, it's time to TP for all of them. MVP Revolution. getting away from this engagement. Hard stuff for Geek Fam to really fight them. Because, well, I guess you don't have your damage, you're just joking on an OD right now. Yeah, but apologies for the lack of cast there. Hopefully the camera still followed them, but like I said, I was really just opening the door. Luckily, there's still a whole series in front of us, especially if MVP Revolution win. Or actually, it doesn't really matter who wins. It's a clean best of 3 right now. Both wins, both games are even. They've been pretty even for both teams. Honestly, they're playing at a pretty decent level. Both teams, a pretty good level. Mainly because of the fact that MVP Revolution now went to the draft that they're much more confident in. I think that Sven worked well for them, but they were a bit too confident in the Sven when he's not that good of a pick against what Geek Fam drafted. Whereas this game is much more even in terms of drafting. I wouldn't give the advantage to either team. Both have their own strategies and depends a lot on execution. And right now, MVP Revolution is doing a really good execution, especially this Troll Warlord. I very much like this pick. They seem to know how to play this guy really well. Whereas the Bristleback for Geek Fam, though, quite a dangerous thing. If it wasn't because of Silver Edge, he would be doing much, much better this game. In fact, it's Psyonix who is not doing so hot this game. He's the Juggernaut and hasn't been given too much space to farm. A lot of space was given to the OD as opposed to him. And even though he's a decent farmer, he usually lacks the damage to farm as quickly because the Blade Fury later on is not really the greatest spell to farm with. Oh, careful. Oh, caught out. Slithering Crush. Easy stun. But the Smoke Screen prevents all the stuns. The Stormcat uses the BKB just in time. She wants to prevent the Bristleback damage. Pummer wants to fight, but he's lost a lot of armor here. And the Tricks of the Trade will come out to Ricky. Can't quite kill Ye in time. That Astron puts him in, actually saves him. And the Shivas will catch out Ricky, but that's the only person they managed to stop. The Silence Novello. He can't use his Nasal Goo. Everyone has Blink, so nobody's going to fall down now except for the Lina, who's been caught in the backlines. He has to deny himself a Bloodstone use in the best of options, and Pummer is forced out to away from the kinetic field, saving his life, but sacrificing an Apolyoshkas. He'll die to 2 crits from Psyonix. W Zayak will follow in the same footsteps and die himself, and now MVP Revolution. They've lost 3, and in exchange, Geek Fam lost nothing. They're going and taking this possible win against MVP Revolution. The second win, trying to make this a 3-0, showing off their prowess. In they go, a Hex plus the Hurricane Pike, easy kill into the Ricky, and goodbye to the Smoke Screen. They have no way of defending this, and only the Troll Warlord's alive, and the only thing Pummer can really do is try to push his bot lane, because nobody in MVP Revolution has a buyback right now, and the Lina will be the first one to come back, but she can't really fight this alone. They're not even going for the racks entirely. They already used the snakes, so they're going for 2 sets of racks at the same time because they know they have to. The first set will fall down easily to some of the damage, and the other set should fall down not as easily, but, well, I mean, they have the snakes, actually. It should fall out easier because they have more damage. Snakes concentrate on the racks. There it is. Yeah, it knows what he's doing. Yeah. And they'll be taking 2 lanes of racks pretty much. The 2 melee racks, which is all that matters. Now they're going to retreat themselves. They don't want to lose too much in this game. This game is a constant give and take, I'm telling you. Both Geek Fam and the guys from MVP Revolution have a turn to win because the difference is currently just 1 Rax. Really, literally, actually. Just 1 Rax because neither team took range. Actually, 2, I suppose, if you consider the ranks in the bottom. That doesn't really matter. The lanes is what matters here. Okay, Velo, what are you doing? I know you're God and you think... Sorry, I know you think you're God, but that's definitely not what you want. Yep, that's... It was pretty obvious that was going to happen, honestly. They had a Silver Edge. You've seen the Silver Edge. It's not a surprise. It's not like, oh shit, Silver Edge. And with Silver Edge, you die pretty quickly. Your strength gain is still 2.2. You might have a Vanguard on a Solo Crest, and that makes you pretty tanky, but not tanky against Selena's damage. Especially, that, even with a Hood of Defiance, sorry. Especially Liquid Display. They still deal a lot of damage to you. Just because you don't have... Just because you think that you're Bristleback and, really strong, you really still depend on that passive ability a ridiculous amount. I mean, it gives you effectively... What is it? Wow, it gives you effectively double the effective HP. That's really convoluted or redundant, but whatever. You get the idea. Bristleback really relies on that Bristleback skill. Huh, even more redundant. Right, let's see if MVP Revolution can take another tower. This would be ideal so they can even out the score. Of course, Bristleback being dead is a slight help for them, but it's not really that big a deal, honestly, for Geek Fam. They can buy back, and he's coming back very soon. Geek Fam should be able to defend this with this initiation. Raji. Oh, maybe they can go on the OD though. He's been silenced. Also stunned, but the Hurricane Pike might save him. Actually, there's 4 staff from, is it Slaughter? Yeah. And Raji will save him. And Stihi now wants to attack, wants to go on Stormcat. He still has the Hurricane Pike if he wants to fight this. Activates the BKB, so they have to commit to this. Then they get a kill onto the Disruptor, but in comes Pummer, who wants to finish off Stihi. He still has the Aegis. Stihi really close, but the Astral Prism might save his life. Stormcat, meanwhile, fighting together with Ricky in the other line, but there it is. OD will go down for 70 seconds, and Geek Fam Raji just misses the stun barely, only hitting up Alyoshka. Now the Yomis is coming out, and the Yomis destroys Pummer and tearing him to shreds. One more hit will do the trick, and they take away his Aegis. But they haven't taken away his soul, because that's That's what they need. Pubber still can fight. They finally have the dust for him. Now the amplified damage. Pubber is not going to be able to run away from Geek Fam's strategy. And here, Geek Fam not only takes the kill on Napalyoshka during Pubber's death time, but they also actually kill off Pubber. Blizzy himself will survive because he's invisible and they don't have amplified damage onto him. And that's MVP Revolution. 40 seconds without Darkseer. 70 seconds, a minute and 10 seconds without a Troll Warlord. Patience from Joe, they say. Oh, that's not patience from Joe. I actually don't know what it says. Wow. They say they're pretty happy about this. Yeah, wow. Can't you imagine? Troll Warlord won't come back for so long. And they can go for another set of racks, or even more importantly, go for that last set of racks. That one thing that you really want. Oh, Raji jumps in, and they can easily kill the Disruptor. Good usage of the smoke screen there. Almost saves the Disruptor. Actually, he might even kill the Juggernaut. He's been silenced and destroyed by the damage the Static Storm and Stormcat is putting out. That's pretty good, but Velo, he can still deal a lot of damage with amplified damage. Still has the Solar Crest. Starts going on to Stormcat. Stormcat has no escape mechanism, let's not forget. But he still has the cheese, who hasn't used in this whole time. Velo, that is better to go for these towers. The OD is finally back. They're willing to fight this. Yeah, comes in as the snakes, commits into the tower. They take the Darkseer, easy shackles, and even though the smoke screen is up, it's still dealing considerable amount of damage. Darkseer's about to go down. Napalyoshka, one more cool spray is all they need, but the Yule Scepter stops the cool sprays from happening. And Velo won't be able to get that kill. Instead, going for the towers. Those snakes are starting to hurt pretty hard though. And they don't have an Aghanims, but it is a level 2 snake, so that's actually quite a lot of damage. Take one set of racks. Now the second one. Yeah, careful. He's been silenced and slow, but he's going to survive just barely. Napalyoshka is a target of aggression. In comes the OD. They should fight this, but Pubber's back again, and he's already used his BKB just to survive this attack. Velo really wants these Mega Creeps, but doesn't know how to take him. Why does he keep attacking the chicken? Because easy kill on the Ricky. But with a break, they destroy the Shadow Shaw and Velo. Now it's time to go on to the Lina. They finally take the enemy mid. That's exactly what they want. The Madback is forced immediately, and Geek Fam has to run away now because they just took Mega Creeps. Why would they keep fighting? Because they know they can. Pubber might just go down to the Astral Imprisonment. Oh, sorry, to the 4 orbs that the Hurricane Pike uses. But of course, Geek Fam will be able to get that kill. GG comes out from MVP Revolution. That's a 2-0 by our friends at Geek Fam. The Filipino boys, guys, will be taking this second game against the Kyrgyzstanians, making this a 2-1 in the best of 5 as a whole. But in the games we've seen, because it's only been 2 because of the 1 game advantage from the winners brackets, it's actually been simply a 2-0. That is... well, that's real unfortunate for MVP Revolution. They come in with one game advantage, and they're actually losing 2 in a row. Now they have to win this last game just to be able to stay in this tournament and then get that final game. So this seems like it's going for a game number 4 at the very least, if MVP Revolution can get that last game, because 3-0 would be a spit in the face of the MVP organization. That said, Geek Fam are on a roll, so congratulations to them playing very well. And with these team fights and these constant games, which are push and shove, you never know who's going to win. Great job by both teams. It's the grand finals for the ProDota Cup tournament, guys. My name's been DSwordfish. I've been your caster for today. If you didn't enjoy the match or you want to watch the replay, feel free to come by my Twitter, and you can actually look up my YouTube channel there, and that way you can see the replay when it comes up, which is right after these games are over. And if you did just enjoy the cast, feel free to follow me on Twitter at DSwordfish. I'll put the link in the description below. And that said, I will come back with game number 3. We will be back with game number 3 between MVP Revolution and Geek Fam very shortly. This could be the last game, so stay glued to your seats, for there's a lot of Dota to come. Enjoy some tunes while I wait, and I'll see you guys next time with some more Dota 2.